Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News, with the big news this week no doubt being the announcement of Hathaway's Flash 2 called the Sorcery of Nymph Circe, and it's slated to be releasing this winter, so it could technically already be releasing in December, but I think an early 2026 release is more likely since we did only just get GQuuuuuuX. So let's talk about that final GQuuuuuuX episode. Now, I won't be giving any spoilers here as per usual, but I will say that I very much enjoyed that ending, as well as the series as a whole. It nicely wrapped up the main story while still leaving enough room for a potential sequel, so we'll have to see what happens with that. And if you loved that final episode so much that you want to watch it again, you can do so on July the 1st with audio commentary from Nyan, Machu, and Shuji. Because on that day, the 5th and probably also final Cast Talk livestream will go live on YouTube. And in addition to talking about the episode, they'll also be talking about other GQuuuuuuX related things. I will have it linked down below, but do keep in mind that it is only in Japanese, and it's also region locked to Japan, so you'll need a VPN like NordVPN to watch it. And by getting it through the link down below, or the code kkrt, you'll not just get a sweet discount, but you'll also be supporting the channel. What isn't region locked then is the music video for Plasma, which got released alongside the final episode, so I'll also have that linked down below. And for even more GQuuuuuuX music then, the insert song for the final episode, being Far Beyond the Stars, has become available on various music streaming platforms. And of course, we also got some merchandise announcements. From the 20th, these Mochi Mochi mascots went up for pre-order for 8,910 yen, 62 US, for the whole set. The standard release consists of Machu, Nyan, Shuji, Anki, Shalia, Xavier, Komoli, Shiko, and Char, but if you then buy the whole set through Premium Bandai, you'll also get Do. But whichever set you go for, it'll be coming your way in October. And then from the 4th of July until the 27th of July, a GQuuuuuuX pop-up store will be appearing in Magnet by Shibuya 109 to celebrate the opening of the Bandai Namco cross store there. It looks like all of the stuff they're selling will be standard things you can get elsewhere as well, but for spending over 2,000 yen, 14 US, you will get a limited edition sticker. And then, if you also happen to visit specifically between July the 14th and the 27th, the entire department store will have a GQuuuuuuX event. GQuuuuuuX decorations will be all over the place, and in participating stores, purchases over 2,000 yen, 14 US again, will get you one of 3 random GQuuuuuuX stickers. For the figures then, we are staying with GQuuuuuuX. Both announced on the 20th and releasing in November, we have the 28th Gundam Converge lineup and the 8th G-Frame Full Armor lineup. For Gundam Converge, the figures will go for 693 yen, 5 US, and you'll be able to get the 00 Gundam, the O-Riser, which can then be combined with the 00, the White Gundam, Char Zaku from GQuuuuuuX, the Standard Zaku from GQuuuuuuX, the Jim Custom, and the Jim Quell, for a total of 7 figures to collect. And each of them will also come with a soda-flavored piece of chewing gum. For G-Frame Full Armor then, one set will set you back 748 yen, 5 US, but you will of course need to buy more than one set for a full figure. The GQuuuuuuX and the Zaku 2 High Mobility Type Black Tri-Stars Custom follow the usual G-Frame convention release method, so to say. One set comes with the armor parts and a static inner frame, and another set comes with a movable frame and all of the accessories. For the GQuuuuuuX, this is a beam rifle, 2 inactive beam sabers, 1 active beam saber, the Tomonui Heat Hawk and the shield, and for the Zaku, it's a giant bazooka, Zaku bazooka, Heat Hawk, Zaku machine gun, spare magazine for the Zaku machine gun, a commander antenna, and 3 kneecaps with different numbers, so you can denote your unit as either Gaius unit, Ortega's unit, or Mash's unit. For the Strike Freedom then, you'll need 3 sets. We've got the armor set, the movable frame set, which also comes with the 2 beam rifles and an extra set of railguns, and then an extra option set, which comes with the wings, the dragoons, and leftover hands from the G-Frame Strike Freedom Type 2. And for the Gunpla news this week, we go to the BHCPDII, or as we all know it, the Gunpla Museum. Last time, I talked about how it would get limited edition things, and this week they announced exactly what those limited model kits are going to be. For Gunpla, you can get the Plomo Museum Color Entry Grade RX-78-2 Gundam Full Weapon Set for 1,430 Yen, 10 US, and they'll also be selling the Event Limited Master Grade Strike Freedom Gundam Recirculation Color / Neon Blue version. This thing goes for 6,050 US, but is not specifically limited to the museum. Other things you can get then are the Museum Limited Rishetta for 3,080 Yen, 21 US, Planosaurus Tyrannosaurus for 1,760 Yen, 12 US, and Electric 4-color injection machine for 880 Yen, 6 US. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, these kits will only be sold online, and that is through a specific premium Bandai link that you will get alongside your tickets. So I wonder if they're going to change this once the museum opens up for foreign tourists. Because even if they were to, let's say, ship internationally, a lot of countries don't have premium Bandai. But the problem with that then would be that I think this is some kind of like scalper prevention method. So again, we'll have to see what they do with that. On the gaming front then, we got quite the surprise announcement because Gundam is having another collaboration with Call of Duty. This time it's Call of Duty Mobile, and the participating mobile suits will be the Freedom Gundam, the new Gundam, the Gundam Dead Scythe Endless Waltz version, and the Sazabi Gundam. To their credit though, they did get it correct the second time they wrote about it. So another big difference is that this time the mobile suits themselves aren't like morphed into a costume to wear for the operators, but the skin just straight up turns your operator into the mobile suit, along with its signature weapons and all. And you'll be able to use these skins in their own dedicated event called Gundam Team Deathmatch. And then by playing this event, you can unlock some Gundam-themed rewards for your regular operator. Plus, you can get a premium pass, which will include some Gundam-themed weapon skins. And, well, over-designed is the first word that came to mind when I saw these. Still, it is looking like a cool collaboration, and the initial reception is also one of the best that I've seen so far. I also really like the vintagey preheat trailer that they had, with the Freedom appearing out of nowhere. So yeah, get ready to suit up with Call of Duty Mobile on July the 2nd. And as the Gundam G Generation Eternal also got quite the announcement. On the 30th, we're getting a big update, which will add Gundam Seed Destiny and Char's Counterattack main stages to the game, which will then of course also be paired with new units. You'll be able to develop the M1 Astray Strike, Force Impulse, Destiny, Legend, Chaos, Savior, Jin High Maneuver Type 2, Gelsgay, Rigazi, High New Gundam, J-Gun, Mass Production Type New Gundam, Yogdoga Gyune Custom, Yogdoga Quest Custom, Nightingale, Gyrodoga Psychoma Test Type, and more. You can then also gacha for the UR High New Gundam EX, UR Force Impulse EX, and SSR Gyrodoga Resin Custom, Gunner Zaku Warrior Luna Maria Custom, Gunner Zaku Warrior Diorca Custom, / Zaku Phantom Izak Custom, Blaze Zaku Phantom Ray Custom, and Windham Neo Custom. And on top of that, we're also getting new supporters. Bright Noah and the Rockeye Loom, Chan and the Rockeye Loom, and Marin and the Minerva. And then from July onwards, they promised story events for Gundam Thunderbolt December Sky, as the Gundam Gaiden Seek Zeon, and Iron-Blooded Orphans Gecko. And right now, they're giving away 300 diamonds and an SSR Shalia Bull GQuuuuuX 0079 version to celebrate GQuuuuuX's final episode, and they've got a login bonus to celebrate the upcoming main stages. For the Gundam card game then, we also got a cool announcement, albeit a significantly smaller one. On September the 27th, the 5th starter deck called Iron Bloom will be releasing, which is the Iron-Blooded Orphans themed one. On October the 25th, the 2nd booster box called Dual Impact and the 6th starter deck called Clan Unity will be releasing, which is the GQuuuuuX themed starter deck. On January the 17th, the 7th and 8th starter decks will be releasing, but they haven't told us what series these will be for. And then on July the 31st, the 3rd booster box will be releasing, but again, more details on what's inside is to be announced. And we got yet another surprise from Gundam Battle Operation 2. Instead of getting separate machines for the Steam version and the PlayStation version, both versions are now getting the GQuuuuuX and the White Gundam, which might make for some interesting, meta differences between the two games, because, of course, the PlayStation version is ahead of the Steam version. And then finally, in UC Engage, an extreme limited unit assembly has become available for the UR Paptoma Scirocco and its UR the O, and they're having a special login bonus to celebrate 2.5 million downloads. In other news then, Dengeki Hobby published the 2nd set of Titans test team emblems, so I'll definitely be covering those in a few weeks. And on August the 9th, a Gundam Wing 30th anniversary event will be held in Fukuoka's Lalaport, which is of course where the life-size new Gundam is located. It is called Operation Fukuoka, and the voice actors for Hiro and Duo will be making an appearance. As for the things you could get this week then, we started off strong on the 21st with the Metal Robot Spirits Red Gundam going for 24,000 yen, 167 US. An impressive figure with equally impressive accessories. We've got the shield, the Gundam hammer, 2 bits, the beam rifle, 2 beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts, an action base to put it on, and extra joint parts to display the hammer and the bits in action. On the 23rd then, we got something equally exciting, but significantly cheaper. The restock of the first Gundam Artifact series. These tiny model kits only go for 550 yen each, for US, but are super detailed and also come with a soda-flavored piece of chewing gum each. You can get the Rig Diaz, the Exis Gundam, the Hainu Gundam, the Nightingale, and the Byron Custom, and each kit comes molded in a resin-esque color to make it reminiscent of garage kits. That is, unless you get the secret rare version, which is a clear red color. And also on that day, the GQuuuuuX rubber keychain special color version spread across Gachapon machines in Japan, meaning that for 300 yen a spin to US, you could get Machu, Nyan, Shuji, Shalia, Char, the GQuuuuuX, the Red Gundam, or the standard Zaku as a rubber keychain. And if you're wondering about what that special color version is, instead of using black as the base color, these use blue as the base color, so they are mostly identical to the previous release. Next up on the 24th then, it was all about prize items that you could get in Japanese arcades. Starting with this Shuji figure, showing him just hanging around, and well, for a prize figure, it is a really nice looking figure. For something softer then, you could go for the GQuuuuuX Tomonui pilot suit version, featuring a happy Machu, a depressed Nyan, and a depressed Du as plushy keychains. As the name indicates, they're in their pilot suits, and they are about 15 centimeters tall, which is about the size of a standard hot dog bun. And the final thing you could score that day was this GQuuuuuX Haro speaker. It's a nice display piece while it has its hat on, but by removing it, it'll also function as a speaker. And as an added bonus, it also has light up eyes, so I wonder if they sync with the music. Today then, the real great Shining Gundam and its superb articulation became available for 3,850 yen, 27 US. And not only is it extremely flexible, it also comes with some cool gimmicks, like being able to transform into super mode without part swapping, and it's also got some cool accessories, like a bunch of hand options. Of course, to replicate a bunch of poses from the anime, including a shining finger. And finally, in late June, we got the Gundam Military Generation Collection, Normal Suit Soldier, Earth Federation, and Zeon. Or, in other words, we got a generic pilot figure for the Federation and a generic pilot figure for Zeon. Both of them go for 3,300 yen each, 23 US, and as with the previous GMG collection figures, these aren't new kits, but rather budget repacks of previously released figures. The price is now much more reasonable, and they only come with the accessories that they're really required to come with. They've got a jetpack and 3 pairs of hands, with the Zeon pilot also getting a machine gun, and the Federation soldier getting a pistol, a holster, and 2 pouches. Also, both now come in a nostalgic packaging that kind of reminds me of like the old Star Wars figures. For this week's reading material then, there was the July issue of Granja Mucha, in which Gundam Rust Horizon is being serialized, the August issue of Shonen Sunday Special, in which Gundam Aggressor is being serialized, the August issue of Gundam Ace, in which a bunch of series are being serialized, including the brand new Gundam 8, the August issue of Model Graphics, with a focus on 0083 kits and the Master Grade Super Deformed Freedom Gundam, the August issue of Hobby Japan, featuring a bunch of scratch-built GQuuuuuX models, like the Kikaroga and a GQuuuuuX bust, as well as a semi-scratch-built Zaku 1 from Requiem for Vengeance. The 15th volume of Gundam Narrative went up for sale, and on the 29th, they're holding an autograph session with Yuichi Hasegawa at Lala Port in Fukuoka to celebrate the release of the first volume of Gundam Crossbone Zeroiba, which itself is releasing today. And it's doing so alongside the 4th volume of Gundam Valpurgis, the 1st volume of Gundam F91 Eternal Wind, and the 1st volume of Gundam Seed Freedom Astray. For this week's apparel news then, Strict G kicked things off on the 20th with 2 new collections. First up, you could feel as part of the Kaneban company, with these items featuring their logo. You could get it on a t-shirt for 4,730 yen, 33 US, a tote bag for 2,200 yen, 15 US, or a cap for 4,730 yen, 33 US. All of which will also become available in physical Strict G stores on the 28th. And the second collection was a bunch of Haro leather items in collaboration with Agility, who are famous for their leather goods. There's a pass case for 7,700 yen, 53 US, a keychain for 3,300 yen, 23 US, and a business card holder for 2,750 yen, 19 US. And these will become available in physical Strict G stores on July the 19th. On the 24th then, pre-orders began for these Gundam and Federation style t-shirts, going for 5,500 yen each, 38 US, and a bunch of Char's Counterattack and Witch from Mercury inspired jewelry in collaboration with Jam Homemade. There's an Axis necklace for 23,100 yen, 160 US, a dummy balloon necklace for 15,400 yen, 107 US, a new Gundam and Sazabi Final Battle ring for 23,100 yen, 160 US, which features the arm of the new Gundam as it's about to smash the Sazabi's cockpit into Axis. There's a new Gundam or Sazabi face ring for 47,300 yen, 328 US, which unfortunately has both heads kinda deformed in order to turn them into a ring, especially with the new Gundam and its V-fin. And there were Hot San and Cool San necklaces. You can get them individually for 12,100 yen, 84 US, or combined for 19,800 yen, 137 US. The jewelry will become available in physical Strict G stores on August the 30th, whereas the t-shirts will already be available on June the 28th. Next up, on the 25th then, Strict G did a collaboration with The Kiss for even more Gundam-inspired jewelry. This time, GQuuuuuX related. For 14,300 yen, 99 US, you can get a Machu, Nyan, or Shuji silver necklace featuring their mascot and a plate with 2 gems in their signature colors. For 15,400 yen, 107 US, you could get them as a bracelet, this time featuring their mascot, 2 gems with their signature color, and their most defining item, which means that for Machu, we're getting the squid emblem and her keychain, for Nyan, her cat emblem and her sunglasses, and for Shuji, conch and his gloves. And then for 4,950 yen, 34 US, you could get a really expensive keychain featuring either Haro, Conch, the Lieutenant, or the Pomeranian Doggo. And all of these items will become available in physical Strict G stores on October the 25th. And then finally today, they showed us some more t-shirts that will become available in physical Strict G stores on June the 28th. For 4,730 yen each, 33 US, you can get a Machu, Nyan, or Shuji t-shirt, and for 5,830 yen, 40 US, you can get some really cool Japanese art-inspired t-shirts, this time featuring the Zeta Gundam, the Hyakushiki, or the Cubile. From Bankore, meanwhile, you could pre-order the GQuuuuuX mini acrylic stand set. It can be yours in August for 1,100 yen, 8 US, and includes 1/144 scale stands of Machu, Nyan, Shuji, and Shalia. So perfect for your high-grade Gunpla. And also releasing in August are these GQuuuuuX Char items. You can get them on an acrylic stand for 1,100 yen, 8 US, a big acrylic stand for 2,750 yen, 19 US, a tapestry for 3,300 yen, 23 US, a face towel for 2,200 yen, 15 US, a mini cushion for 2,530 yen, 18 US, or an acrylic keychain for 990 yen, 7 US. And that was all for this week's Gundam news. Don't forget to check out NordVPN with the link down below, or the code kkrt. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.